Losers are reactive, champions are proactive. There is a right way and a wrong way to construct your bench for the fantasy playoffs. On last week's episode, where I talked about how to build a strong starting lineup for the stretch run, I said that depth is the most overrated thing in fantasy football. And that is 100% true. But that doesn't mean you should be neglecting your bench. What I meant by saying depth is overrated is that I don't need or want backup quarterbacks or backup wide receivers or backup tight ends on my roster. I have no use for that outside of super deep leagues or leagues that don't have a waiver wire. However, there is absolutely value to be had by constructing a strong bench. But there is a right way and a wrong way to do it. Rather than stashing players that are so easily replaceable on the waiver wire, I want handcuff running backs. I want the guys with contingent upside. That's why once you get to the second half of the fantasy football season, I am completely shedding these fringe players. I'm talking guys like Xavier Legette, Jalen McMillan, or Keenan Allen, Tyler Lockett, Dalton Schultz, Pat Freiermuth, Aaron Rodgers, etc. Guys I'm not starting. I have no plans to ever start. And if I ran into a situation where I need to start someone like that, I can easily find an equal value on the waiver wire for free. There is zero upside in keeping a Tyler Lockett on my bench. There are 30 Tyler Lockett's available on the waiver wire in almost every league. So instead, I am dropping the Tyler Lockett's of the world and filling my bench with as many handcuff running backs as I can find. Well, I can't start any of these handcuff running backs right now. So why would I keep them on my roster? Say, I don't know, Blake Corum, for example. Blake Corum has absolutely zero value to any starting lineup right now. But what happens if Kyren Williams were to sustain an injury? All of a sudden, Blake Corum is the waiver wire ad of the week. Everyone in your league is running to the waiver wire to bid on Blake Corum. Essentially, whoever has the most fab left is going to get him. He'd be a 100% fab guy. He'd be a full-blown bell cow in an offense that puts out a ton of work to the starting running back on the roster, and they provide a ton of touchdown opportunities. Blake Corum would be the league winner of all league winners. Tyler Lockett, on the other hand, is always going to be just Tyler Lockett. He gives us zero contingent upside whatsoever. You'll never win your league because Tyler Lockett was there to save the day. Even if you lose one of your starting wide receivers and you need to plug in Tyler Lockett for 12 points, great. But I can find 12 points on the waiver wire 8 days a week for free. Just look at Nick Westbrook-Akine or Marquez Valdes-Scantling last week, for example, or Jerry Jeudy, Elijah Moore. These are just a few examples of how easy it is to find usable weeks from wide receivers on the waiver wire. But when I talk about handcuff running backs, I don't just mean the handcuffs to the running backs on your roster. I am talking about all handcuff running backs. I don't need to roster Kyren Williams to benefit from Blake Corum. I don't need to roster James Conner to benefit from Trey Benson. We've already seen this strategy pay off in such a huge way this season. Look at Tyrone Tracy. He was either stashed or picked up off the waiver wire when Devin Singletary went down. And now he is winning people leagues. Jordan Mason, same thing. Sure, he's back on the bench now, but he was winning weeks for teams for 2 months when he was the guy with Christian McCaffrey out. Some handcuff running back is going to step forward and be the reason why someone in your league wins this year. I promise you that. So why wait and hope that you can get that guy off the waiver wire? Stash as many of them as you can now so you're ready for when that time comes, because that time will come. Losers are reactive, champions are proactive.